Hello viewers, welcome to UPSC Warriors channel. This is Soundarya. So today we are going to discuss about inflation. So quickly I am going to discuss about what is inflation, what are the different types of inflation we have, and what are the causes of inflation and some of the terms that you have to know related to inflation. Okay, so let's begin now. So what is mean by inflation? So I hope you would have come across this term that inflation is happening in the country, especially with respect to the food products in newspapers, right? So what it is all about? Inflation is something that refers to price rise, okay? In simple terms, inflation means price rise, but you have to remember other things also. So it is not the price rise that is happening, rapidly, or it is not the price rise that is happening with respect to any one particular goods or services in the country, but rather inflation is something that is said to occur over a period of time. Okay, so if we see the definition of inflation, it is the consistent and gradual rise in the general price level, of a range of goods over a period of time. So these are the keywords that you have to give focus to. So what is inflation? Inflation is something that is talking about price rise, okay? So price rise of what? Price rise of range of goods, okay? Not just one good, say for example onion, apple, or whatever it is, but it is a range of goods that are there in the country happening over a period of time, okay? And it should be consistent, okay? It is not like the price is rising for just 1 or 2 days and then it is becoming normal. It should be consistently increasing over a period of time, okay? So this should be gradual as well. Okay, so this is how it has to happen. So what is inflation? Inflation is nothing but gradual and consistent increase in the general price level of a range of goods over a period of time. So it should be clear by now that inflation is something that is not talking about the rapid or the price rise of any one particular goods or service in the country. Rather, inflation is something that is said to occur whenever there is a range of products or the services that are there in the country are experiencing increase in prices, and that too gradually over a long period of time. Okay, now moving forward from here, I would like to give an example to make you understand this inflation better. So here, imagine you have rupees 100 with you, and with which you can buy 10 burgers at rupees 10 each. So in that case, what is the cost of one burger? Okay, if 10 burgers are 100, it means one burger is equal to 10 rupees, right? Okay, so this is the price of the burger in the first year. So what is happening after that? For the next 1 year, for the next 12 months period of time, the price of the burger is increasing gradually and slowly in such a way that in the next year, the price of the burger is now 12 rupees. Okay, so with this 12 rupees, how many burgers can you buy with the same 100 rupees? Okay, so it is no more 10 burgers, it is only 8 burgers. With 100 rupees, you can buy only 8 burgers. Why it is so? It is because the price is being increased from 10 to rupees 12. Okay, so here the inflation rate is 20%. So this is how we measure the inflation. That is, we measure the price rise with reference to a base year term period or with reference to a reference year. Okay, say for example, from last year, how much is the price rise that has happened in the product? Okay, so it is as simple as like you analyzing your own performance from the last midterm test. What is the performance improvement that I had with respect to this particular test? Maybe I scored, my score got increased by 5%, 6%, etc. So we always need a reference here to calculate inflation, and this is what is actually meant by inflation. Okay, so moving forward from now, what has actually happened? Price increased by 20%. In that case, with 100 rupees, you cannot buy 10 burgers anymore. It means the value of your money has decreased. Clear? So your money's purchasing power has decreased. Same 100 rupees can buy fewer burgers but not the same burger which you used to buy. I hope this is clear for you. So what are the key points that you have to remember here about inflation? Inflation is reducing the purchasing power of the money. So price rises over a period of time. In this example, we saw that the price rise is happening over a period of 1 year. Clear? So price rise is happening over a period of time and money's value is decreasing whenever inflation is happening. Okay, so this is all about inflation. Now we have different types of inflation depending upon the increase in price rise of a particular goods or service. Depending upon how much increase has happened, we have these different types of inflation. So if the price rise is somewhere between 1 to 5%, then that is called as creeping inflation. So if the price rise is between 5 to 10%, that is called as walking inflation. So if the price rise is between 10 to 20%, if the price of the product has increased by 10 to 20%, as we saw in the example of burger, then that can be called as running inflation. Okay, so if the price rise is more than 20%, then we will call that as hyperinflation. So here you should also know this, that for any country, okay, inflation is good, but the rate of inflation should be moderate. Okay, so somewhere between 1 to 5% or 2 to 5% is fine. Why? Even if the price is increasing, okay, it is just a very minimum level of increase. Say for example, if the price of a dairy milk is getting increased from rupees 5 per chocolate to rupees 6 or 7, then you will be able to buy it, right? So you will be able to afford or spend rupees 2 or 3 extra for purchasing that dairy milk. In that case, as a producer, what will I think? Even if the price of my product is getting increased, then people are still demanding it. So in that case, if I am increasing my production, so I will be getting benefits, right? So that is why we say inflation will lead to increase in production. But just imagine if the price of the chocolate is getting increased from rupees 5 per piece to somewhere rupees 50 per piece, then definitely we will not buy it, right? At least we will think whether we have to actually buy it or not, or if the person that we are going to give the chocolate to him really needs it or not, right? So in that case, the producer will decrease the production. Why? Because the demand will decrease in such situation, right? So that is something that will affect the economy badly. So it will also impact your inflation. I mean, it will also impact your investments. It will also impact your growth. It will also impact the other economic indicators like employment, everything. Okay, so that is why we say inflation is good, but provided it should be moderate. Clear? So whenever inflation of hyper or running inflation happens, then all these consequences which I mentioned are bound to occur. Okay, so this is all about the type of inflation. And then you can see the example here. This is creeping, walking, running and hyper. So what are the causes of inflation? So this is something which you have to know for sure. So talking about the causes, we have two different causes that lead to inflation. One is the demand side causes and the another one is the supply side causes. So we know what is meant by inflation, price rise, right? So talking about the demand side causes, so what is mean by demand? We, the people, are demanding the goods and services. So when the demand for the product is getting increased, obviously the price of the product will increase, provided the supply is constant. It is very simple, right? See, if there are 5 chocolates that are produced in the country and if there are 10 people who are demanding the chocolate, and in that case, if we are not able to increase the production from 5 to 10, then what will happen? You will face shortages of the chocolate to meet the demand, right? So in that case, what will happen? The price of the chocolates will increase. Okay, so the people who are still able to buy the increased price of the product will get the product, right? So this is called as demand side inflation. It means the supply is constant, you're not able to increase the supply, but still the demand is getting increased. Okay, that is called as demand side inflation. Okay, so why it is good? It is good because if you are demanding more, if the producer is able to increase the production, then that can lead to growth facilitation. Okay, and talking about the growth facilitation as a cause for inflation, so whenever there is a growth that is happening in the country, the income of the people will increase. So whenever the income of the people is getting increased, obviously they will demand more. So if your pocket money is increased, then you will try to purchase more goods and services. So that condition will lead to increased demand. So this is about the growth facilitation. Talking about black money, we all know that whenever there is more black money, of course inflation is bound to happen, and changes in the taste of the people. So if people are moving towards consuming more millets food, if people are moving towards consuming more nutritious rich food, in that case the demand for such products are going to get increased. Okay, so this is all about demand side causes for inflation. Talking about the supply side causes, see, due to some conditions like maybe a rainfall, or due to some conditions like drought, due to some conditions like higher transportation charges, if the supply is getting affected, and in that case again you are bound to have inflation. Okay, so talking about indirect taxes, so whenever the indirect taxes are higher, the final cost of the product is getting impacted, right? So in that case you will have to pay extra money because the indirect taxes is increased. Just remember, like if you are paying more taxes because of increased GST rate. Okay, so this is all about indirect taxes. And talking about change in administered and managed prices, so here I can give you the examples of MSP. Okay, and whenever the MSP is getting increased, or whenever the government is taking control of giving the prices at subsidized rates, right? So whenever that rates are getting altered in such a way, the price of the product is getting increased, of course you have to pay more for that, right? So this is all about changes in administered prices and managed prices. Increase in cost of production, this can happen because of increase in labor cost, because of increase in cost of raw materials, because of increase in cost of production. So whenever you have to make use of new technology that is available, then of course you have to spend more, right? So whenever your labor is demanding more money from you, then of course it is going to impact the price of the product at the end. So if I am able to produce a product in rupees, with 10 rupees, and now because of increase in the cost of raw material, if I take rupees 15 to produce the product, obviously I will increase the price of the product, right? So this is about increase in cost of production. And talking about the infrastructure bottlenecks, as I told you in the first point, it can be anything related to transportation, it can be anything related to production and supply. So these are the broad elements which you have to know about inflation causes, right? Now moving forward from here, these are some of the terms we have to know about inflation. So we know what is inflation, right? So what is disinflation? Disinflation refers to decrease in inflation. So disinflation is also a situation of inflation, but what is happening is that the increase in price levels is decreasing. Say for example, if the price is increasing from 10 to 15 to 25 to somewhere 50, 100, this is inflation, right? So the price is increasing gradually over a period of time. But just imagine the price rise is happening, but it is getting decreased. That is 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so if this is how the price rise is happening, that is decrease in rate of inflation, then we will call that as what? Disinflation. Clear? And what is mean by deflation? It is the opposite of inflation. So disinflation is also inflation, just it is decrease in inflation. You have to remember like that. What is deflation? It is the opposite of inflation. The price is actually falling. From 10, it is moving to 8, 9, 8, 7, etc. Clear? Fine. What is mean by skewflation? See, skewflation is a condition that refers to we have rise in prices, but that is not uniform for all goods and services. Say for example, if agricultural goods are witnessing increase in prices, the industrial goods may witness decrease in prices, okay, and something of different nature can happen in the services sector. So when that is happening, that is called as skewflation. So you can see the diagram here. So here we have inflation, okay, and this is disinflation, and this is called as deflation, okay, that is the price rise is getting negative, okay, and this is called as reflation. Okay, so first what is happening in the depression zone, the economy is going downwards, and from where in the negative region you are witnessing some changes where the graph is moving towards the positive zone, okay, that is increase in price rise zone. So this is called as reflation, and from where you are actually witnessing increase in prices, okay, from the negative category, so it is slowly moving to the positive zone, and from where it is actually decreasing. This is the example, and from where here it is actually going down, prices are actually falling. Clear? So this is the, these are some of the important terms that you have to know from inflation. Okay. Yeah, so here is a sample question. So if you are preparing for UPSC examination, so this is a question that we actually had in the UPSC prelims examination. So decrease in rate of inflation is called as what? So just now we saw that decrease in rate of inflation is called as disinflation. So it is a very easy question. So that's it for today from my side. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed to UPSC Warriors channel, please subscribe and stay tuned with us for more updates. And we also have some of the NCERT courses happening live, happening on live classes. So please go and watch that also. We have some case studies from economy, and we also have some economy basic series that are running in this channel. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned with us and take care.